The family of Lieutenant Scot Ames Jr. is one step closer to taking him home to Indiana. Ames died on Friday when the plane he was in crashed near Montgomery. The 24-year-old was a first assignment instructor pilot from Columbus Air Force Base. The student pilot, a member of the Japanese Air Force, also died in the crash. A remembrance service for both pilots will be held on base this afternoon. AUDRA Ames, Scot's widow, and his mother Ginger Ames sat down with me to talk about a husband and a son. Tomorrow on Sunrise, Scot's mother talks about watching her child grow into a determined, accomplished young man. But today, AUDRA tells me the story of a dream that ended too soon.
Well, first of all, thank you for allowing us into your home.
Absolutely.
The community has really poured out support for you and for your husband in such an awful time. What have the past few days been like for you?
Indescribable pain. When I found out, I was here by myself, and I was just kind of looking at his location and calling, and he just wasn't answering, and then they were at my door. But thankfully, my parents and his parents got here as soon as they could to be here with me.
And Scot was a pilot through and through. He was an instructor pilot. What kind of pilot was he? How would you describe his love of flying?
He always was flying. He worked all the time, and the only reason he was flying this weekend was to be at the top of the hours for flying this quarter. He wanted to be the top guy, and he was always helping people, and he was always studying here at home. He was just a smart, safe, just really great pilot.
And you can tell how much his students meant to him. I mean, his job was to go to work and inspire these future pilots to go after their dreams. Obviously, this whole Air Force community is shaken up. What do you want them to know? What do you want his students to know?
I just want everyone to know that he was so dedicated to them, and he wanted everyone to do the best that they could in flying, and he was always so motivating, and I'm sure that they would tell everybody that. You know, he was the guy that would he would come into the squadron and he would try to brighten the day, and you know, he always told me, you know, there's always something to be thankful for, and I know that's who he was to them.
So we talked about Scot the pilot. Tell me about Scot, your husband.
He was the life of the party, and he always was so adventurous and tried. I'm such a homebody, and so he would always try to get me to go hunting and fishing and just get out of my comfort zone. He was always so motivating to me in everything I tried to do, and when I wanted to come down here and work, I was so I just didn't know how I was going to work remote, and he was always so motivating, and he loved every single person, and he just always made every day a good day.
And you guys were newlyweds.
Yes.
Tell us about your love. Like, how did you meet?
So we met at a bar in college, and you know, thinking about it the last few days has made me cry, but he just came up to me at the bar and told me that I had a smile that could melt someone's heart, and we just fell in love immediately, and we were just two peas in a pod ever since then.
I know that you're having your moments. We talked earlier. What is giving you strength right now?
It's got to be Scot, honestly. I mean, I wake up every morning and they can tell you I'm just in tears every morning, and you know, looking at photos and videos are very hard, and hearing his voice is very hard, and I don't know that it's hit yet that he's not going to walk through the door again, but he always, anytime I cried, he would always say and sing "Everything's Gonna Be All Right" by Kenny Chesney, and he would always put Chattahoochee on and make us dance to it. And so I think the only way that I'm able to have these good moments where I'm not just in tears is because of him.
I think a lot of people in the community, they see the planes, they hear them flying overhead. What do you want them to know about your husband and these guys that are up there?
They're all so safe. They're all so safe. And I know, you know, everyone's wondering what happened, and we're wondering the same thing. But it was just a catastrophic accident, and everyone that's up in the air that you hear loves their job, and they're doing their absolute best to always be safe, and they're a big part of this community, and I know they're all happy to be surrounded by everyone in Columbus.
Well, I hope you know that you're always going to be surrounded by love, that me and the other pilot wives are never going to let you feel alone. And this community is always going to be here for you.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting us come and share your story and learn about your husband.
Absolutely.